being a little extra loud today.
Going. Oh God, I am very white. Jesus Christ.
Sir, that's racist.
Yeah, that's something I could fix, right?
You're racist.
Oh Jesus! I just missed that. God damn it. This is not the way to start an episode. Hey, but I didn't knock anything over, so that's good. That's usually at least one of the
No, you knocked something over. Our chances of becoming YouTubers. You knocked over our hopes and dreams, Mike. Are you proud of yourself?
Some YouTubers are going to be talking about our controversy.
Exactly.
Like, hey, do you guys remember that podcast that... actually, nobody remembers.
Exactly.
That podcast that got like 80 views or 100 views.
That called themselves YouTubers and said they had a Patreon and an OnlyFans.
Yeah. We don't have the OnlyFans yet, but...
I don't think we ever will.
Hey, you know. Never say never, Brian. Welcome to another exciting episode of Shreddy Bois.
Hey, welcome back. And I'm moving the mug.
You don't do things like that. Yeah, what's going on, buddy?
Oh, not much. You know, I survived October.
It has been a very long time, hasn't it?
Since we have survived the war.
Yes, World War Twitch.
Yeah.
Oh, let's. Hey, let me thank you guys right off the bat. I didn't think the Shreddy Bois official theme song was going to be like, I don't know. I thought it would get like maybe like 30 views or something.
Oh right, you know, we released the music video. Yeah. Hopefully you guys liked it. You know, we wanted to make it extra goofy for you all.
It got like 200 views and it's still climbing, which is pretty crazy. You know, we're a new channel. We're not averaging like a lot of views, but so 200 is our highest performing.
Yeah, I mean, it is. It's a great start, you know? Hey, so thank you. Thank you
very much,
Thank you for laughing at us.
Yes, at our stupidity.
Exactly.
We loved making that. We had so much fun.
I took a good hit from that as well.
Yeah. Oh, did you? What is that?
You don't remember Kill the Witch part?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I honestly would put that in the top 10 anime battles in history.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. There you go. Yeah, we released that, you know. But yeah. Since then, you know, what you been up to, buddy?
You know, not much. Just the usual, memeing. Jamming to memeing. I also got the Inferi guitar tab transcription. I don't know how you call it, but it's basically the tab book for their EP of Sunless Realms. I wish I had it with me, but I'll just mention that there.
That's right. So let's recap. Had we gone to that show yet at that point? By our last recording? No, we never recorded that, right?
No, we never recorded. I mean, I recorded it on Snapchat. That's it.
Well, we went to go see them with Shadow of Intent, Wormhole. Help me.
It was Shadow of Intent, Wormhole, Enterprise Earth,
and then Misanthropy. Yeah, Misanthropy. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Local band, Misanthropy. You should check them out.
And he met his long lost brother.
It happened. I'm gonna put his picture right here.
It was like a Christmas miracle.
I just gotta look angrier.
Yeah, no, and it's funny because before, like, you know, the show started, I picked up some merch. I wish I had the shirt on, but I forgot to put it on. But some dude actually walked up to Mike and was like, Malcolm? And I immediately was like, no.
I started laughing so hard. Oh, man. That was great. Oh, yeah, we went to that. I'm trying to think. Help me. Let's fill in the blanks here. I saw Iron Maiden. That Jesus Christ, have we not seen each other for like 2 months? Because I don't think we talked about that.
No, God, Jesus. It's almost been 2 months.
Dude, so many awesome albums have come out. You know, we haven't talked, obviously, we keep forgetting to talk about all these awesome albums. Maybe we'll remember to do that later with a special guest of ours. I don't know.
A special guest of ours? Well, oh, yeah. You know, we're going to have a very special guest.
Whoever that may be. You totally didn't read in the title of this, you know, in the title here.
Yeah, you know, maybe you might have seen him in the caption, but they're like, well, who's that? You know, well...
or the little thumbnail.
Hopefully. We had a conversation, you know, with our guest at the show, actually. Yeah, we asked him, hey, you want to be a part of this? He's like, yeah, dude, totally.
So, yeah. And before we jump to that, anything else? Let's keep going. Speed round.
Speed
what
run.
happened these last couple months with you, buddy?
The new COD dropped, and I was just playing that.
New COD?
Yeah, new Call of Duty.
Oh yeah. I got it.
God damn it!
There. COD. Fish. That's where my mind went. I'm like, the new COD dropped. You dropped a fish. Sorry, keep going. Speed round.
Speed round. There was a funny fishing cheating scandal that as soon as you mentioned that, it reminded me that there was cheating scandals going around. There was the chess cheating scandal. I'm not gonna go into any of these, but the fish one was funny. Some dude was made his fish way heavier so he can win, but now he's facing some. I
saw that.
Yeah,
he sent that to me.
It made it on the news, and now he's. I think he might face some like criminal charges for it. Maybe not criminal charges, but some.
Was this like a government like contest or something?
I don't know, but some legal shit is happening with that. I was like, I did not know it was going to explode into that. But as soon as you mentioned fish, I was like, oh my god, there's that scandal that happened,
dude.
We might talk about it next episode, but I mean, there was a whole lot going on.
Who knows?
See, like when we recorded World War Twitch, that was happening alongside it. Same thing with the chess drama, but we wanted to talk more about. I wanted to focus more about what was going on with Twitch, but yeah, there was a whole lot going on. It was just a massive war.
That's kind of the issue with these guys is we can't pump them out fast enough. You know?
Yeah, I mean,
we try to be timely. That's why we don't do like a lot of news as much as we did maybe that first episode.
I mean, yeah, but we can. I mean, we can talk about it like as a recap because I mean it has been a wild year, but yeah.
No, I mean there's so much that's been happening. Like, all right, speed round. I saw Merciful Fate the other day. That happened. That was awesome. Merciful Fate creator and Midnight. That was an awesome show. I got a PS5.
Hey, this guy's flexing the PS5.
I know. You can't see it. I'm also not going to take a picture. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put a stock photo of a PS5. That's my PS5.
Hey, you got lucky because those are still very hard to obtain.
They're very hard to find still. Yeah, I'm trying to think what else. It's been so busy. I've had so much going on. Did we talk about the Vicious Attack show? That we did?
No, we did not. Well, I mean, we mentioned it that we were gonna play it, and I can't. We
teased that.
Yeah, we teased. Yeah. I didn't stream it on Twitch. I streamed it on my Instagram. But hey, I'll plug that in if you guys want to watch it. It's on there.
Yeah, that's right. You teased it. So we had a show. Yeah, this is how far back that was. Jesus Christ. We had a show. I was filling in for my bass player, and you were filling in for me.
Yep, I was Mike 2.0.
And it was fun. Would you say you had fun?
There was a lot of people there. Lots of nice
decent amount of people.
It was pretty packed.
We sold a lot of merch, but most importantly, we were there to celebrate
melt everyone's faces.
Yeah, and promote Art of the Flesh's new vinyl that they just came out with. So they're not the featured band of this episode. You'll find out in a little bit. What are we doing?
Well, okay. Before we go on to the next, our special guest, but I just have one question: was that vinyl an EP or a full-length album?
It was an EP. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
I bought it. If I was prepared.
No. I'm just asking. We'll show that off some other time.
Yeah.
Anyways, guys, without further ado.
No, guys.
God damn it! I was about.
No, it's not ready yet. Okay. Happy Thanksgiving.
You could have said this at the end of the episode.
No.
Danksgiving.
This is the Danksgiving episode. The Shreddy Bois. There's nothing Thanksgiving related. This is just going to come out probably. Hey, we could do that very quick.
And
okay?
I said, hey,
happy Thanksgiving. Hey, Brian, what do you typically do for Thanksgiving? What are your plans this Thanksgiving?
I'm just gonna stay home and eat. Shit post on Maine.
That's really year?
Yeah. I mean, that's really what I do every year.
Okay, well,
maybe spend some time with family, but other than that, I'm just.
You're not a football guy, right?
Not really.
Not really.
I try my best to keep up with it, but I keep forgetting.
Guys, Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday of the entire year. And it's not just because the Pilgrims won. No. I'm going to zoom into your face, right? Your disappointment. No, it's my favorite holiday of all time because there's football, because there's food, because of Black Goddamn Friday.
That's not Thanksgiving. You know, it's ironic how people are thankful for one day, but then the next day, they start stomping on each other for the best deals.
I love it so much. It's when I was a kid, my family would just leave me at like a Walmart or like a Best Buy or like a Target and just wait in line until it's ready to open. And they'd be like, go get a TV, go get a Blu-ray player. So I learned to love it because it was like, you know, the chase.
Sounds sort of traumatic, but you know what they say, a little childhood trauma builds character.
Yeah. Dude, I loved it so much. I would get so much cool stuff, you know, so many TVs and all that. So, you know, obviously Black Friday is nothing like it used to be now. You don't even need to go into the store.
With just a click of a button, I can get everything I want.
Yeah, or just wait till Cyber Monday, and then that's a whole thing now. But my point simply is that, you know, there's food, there's football, there is Friday, the 3 Fs. Family, 4 Fs.
Family.
Yeah.
Nothing stronger than family. Okay, no, we're not going into this.
Family.
That's last year's meme.
Yeah, but yeah, so that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be,
nice.
Yeah, it's going to be good. So guys, from the bottom of our hearts, happy Thanksgiving.
Maybe his, but not mine. I'm joking.
All right. I'll let you do it now. Go ahead.
All right, guys.
What's the segment name?
God damn it, Mike. I'm getting to it.
Do it.
I'm going to need a new co-host, everyone. Anyways, I'm joking. Without further ado, here is new guest, Who Dis?
Cue card. Record on this thingy? All right, cool. I think we're good.
All right,
technology,
nice.
Amazing and horrible at the same time.
Yeah, when it works, it's cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my god. All right.
Nice.
Well, do you wanna? All right. Let me do a count. 3, 2, 1. Hi guys.
Hey guys.
Welcome to the next segment. We totally, didn't stop and set everything up in this direction.
Right.
But welcome to our segment. New guest, Who Dis? And
What's up?
Who do we have here, Brian?
We got Max Damske from Warforged.
Woo!
How's it going? Thanks for inviting me to be on this with you guys. This is cool.
A huge
Pretty
honor.
stoked.
It's a huge honor to have you with us, man.
Yeah,
it's cool. Good time.
We were talking about a little earlier in the episode when we were at the Shadow of Intent Inferi wormhole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Enterprise Earth. Just just a lot of awesome bands, and then we saw you, and we were talking a little bit about that. And
cool.
We saw my long lost brother.
Malcolm Pugh, yeah.
Yeah.
You're the Chicago Malcolm.
Yeah, Chicago.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, dude, that was a good show, man. It's been a good month for shows. There's been a lot of cool stuff. At least it's October. It was a good time. I had a lot of fun going out and doing stuff. So that was a good one. It was a lot of fun.
That whole month was insane. It was like that show. There was the Revocation show, which I saw you there.
Yeah, I saw you at that one.
To make it. I was supposed to go.
That's right. Yeah.
No, it was
Fallujah, and then Rivers of Nile and Contortionist. That was pretty cool.
That happened.
Yeah, it was a good month.
Iron Maiden.
It was like every week I was seeing a buddy. I was seeing someone I knew. It was a good time. So.
Yeah. And then I think either it was the start of next month or maybe it was that month still Iron Maiden happened, and I was there too. So, yeah, good stuff. It was
sick.
Awesome.
How is Iron Maiden, dude? I've never seen Iron Maiden. I think that'd be cool. Was it at like the
it was awesome.
Tweeter Center, whatever the hell they call it now?
Yeah,
First Midwest Bank Amphitheater? Or...
Yeah.
No.
It's not that either. I don't know what they call it now.
It was at the United Center.
I think it's Hollywood.
Okay.
Oh, it's United Center. Never mind.
No, it was at the United Center where the Bulls and
yeah.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Oh yeah,
it was fantastic. Talk about you got all these bands who they wither away and whatnot. I saw Ozzy a while back, and Ozzy sounded great, but when he did the on-stage banter, Like it just didn't exist. He was up there. He's just, I can't hear you, and he said that about 50 times. Between every song, I can't hear you. I'm like, he might not.
I imagine his brain's a little cooked at this point, where he's doing the best he can, and that off the cuff banter isn't really there.
Oh, that was a long time ago. I think it was Ozzy and Deep Purple. It was a weird
sick.
lineup.
That's cool.
But it was great.
Nice.
Well, yeah,
very cool.
The opposite, Iron Maiden, was just phenomenal. They sounded great. They still sound, like
cool.
they pretty much always do. So
that's awesome, man. Yeah.
You will not regret it, parting with your money.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
that's cool.
I bet it hurts the wallet. Did Bruce complain about people smoking weed at that show, Mike?
No.
I don't know if you heard about that, Max.
I remember hearing about that. Yeah. Was it? What show was it? Was it in Chicago
sure.
or
I think
some show? Okay.
It might have been. I think it was Ohio, but yeah, everyone was just memeing on him over that.
Yeah.
I remember hearing about that. Yeah.
It was bad. I felt bad. I'm like, oh, crap.
I mean, I felt bad, but I was also
Sorry,
just
Bruce.
laughing. I mean, it was if anything you say on stage is gonna get captured.
You gotta be careful.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and that's one's like, dude, what do you think's happening? Like, sorry, Bruce, but
Yeah,
chances
like
are people
it's the
do
internet.
that.
Everyone's ruthless on.
It's also 2022. So I mean, Jesus Christ, it's like
it's like, come on, Bruce. What do you think these people are doing?
It's pretty.
They're hanging out.
Commonplace at this point.
Yeah, right.
Hanging out, getting baked and toasty.
Yeah, listen to the Trooper, man. Exactly. Yeah.
I like those amps back there, buddy.
Dude, thanks, man. Or no, wrong side. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks. Yeah, I gotta.
I can see a massive collection of guitars. Are those all ESP guitars, or?
They are. There are two basses that aren't, but I have ESP basses that just aren't out. So I live with my parents, and this is my old bedroom, and then my bedroom's across the hall, which is my brother Alex's old bedroom. So I have I've been here too long. I gotta move out at some point whenever housing prices kind of improve, but I don't have much. Dude, sucks. I hate it. I thought it would have happened by now, but it hasn't. So, but I've got too much shit in here. I've got more guitars you can't see off screen. I've got a stack of amps there. I got another stack of amps there. I just got too much stuff and not enough space. And that's a very you'll never. I get no pity for that complaint, but yeah, it's cool, man. I got a lot of cool shit in here.
Yeah, I could see the triple rack. I could see what is the one in the middle?
I got the Roadster.
That's
the
what
Mesa Roadster.
Oh,
and then the Angle Savage 120. So
nice. Wow. How are you liking the Savage?
I got that recently, and honestly, I'm not loving it. It just doesn't. I have an Angle Invader too, and I do like that a little more. But both of them just kind of have this weird sound to it, where they don't have this biting personality that I kind of thought they would have based on how everyone talks about Angle. But I'm gonna play with it some more and try it out some different cabs and see how it feels. But
it depends what you throw in front of it and all that.
True. Yeah.
I have a Powerball myself. That was my main amp for a while, and I don't know. I think I went from a Randall to that. So that was the biggest jump that I had ever made with my sound, and I still got her to this day. And
what was the Randall you had?
I don't even remember. It was a solid state when it first came out. I'm trying to remember, but it was a solid. It sounded bad.
Okay. Yeah, not a fan.
Yeah. It was really weird. I made a very weird move. I had a PV6505 Plus, and I just had a lot of issues with, controlling it, It had a hissy, kind of a hissy sound, And then, you become a better guitar player, and, you learn how to do all that. And, I definitely regretted selling it because I sold it, got the Randall, and I'm like, oh, this was a bad move.
That's sort of the same thing I had with my PVML 20-watt tube amp. It had that hissing sound as well.
Yeah, those PVs specifically, they're just a different beast, Yeah,
because that's my stack here is all PV stuff. I got the Triple X, the JSX, a 6534, and then the 5152. And the 5150 family has always been a little hissier, but it's kind of like if you go on message boards, I remember being a kid and people would be like, "What do you think of the 5150?" And then someone would post like a picture of bees. It sounds like a can of bees, dude. And you're like, it kind of does, but I kind of like that, you know. It depends, and I think certain tubes you put in there will help it, but you know, tubes are just like, that's a whole game I don't really play too much, because you can just go nuts trying to collect, like at this point, old tubes or something like this, you know. New old stock like Mullard is $60, and like it sounds better, and you're like, I don't know if it actually does. It
dude,
might,
there's so many of those people like, dude, what are you using? Sovitech tubes, or like
it's like
Mullards.
I don't know, and it's just, it's not like you can easily A and B that, because if you were to buy the same exact amp and put different tubes in there still could be differences between the two amps, just at the manufacturing level, you know. Dude. So it's like, and to take them out and swap them, it's like, that's, you're not going to remember unless you record it. You're not going to remember what it sounded like unless you're directly doing an A/B test of them. So I haven't gone down that rabbit hole. I hope I don't. I might someday, because I might go more insane. But right now, I'm just keeping it normal. So I usually go with JJ's just because they're easy to find, and I find they sound good. And they're not made in Russia, so there's no issue with that. Although I think that kind of got resolved, but the prices still haven't come down on tubes since
they have not.
All that stuff, you know.
Yeah, I remember Mike mentioned that to me like a few months back.
Yeah. I don't have many amps. I just have my I during, you know, towards, I'm trying to think, maybe like a year ago, I bought a Mesa triple rec that you can't see, it's back there.
Okay.
And so I literally just have two. I just got the Angle Powerball one and the Mesa triple rec, and then I got
those
my Helix, picks, man. And that's it. You know.
Yeah. All I use is my my power amp. It's a Magnum 44 along with my Orange cabinet 2x12.
Okay.
And my Podgo. That's pretty much it. I used to use my PVML, but I think I need to swap out the tubes, but I haven't had time to, like, you know, get new ones. So I was like, you know what, I'll just stick with a power amp for now. It's done me well. Yeah,
you know, it's like kind of, I don't know. I've learned with, because I had pretty much an Axifex forever. I had a bunch of amps when I was younger, and I sold them to get the Axifex. I'm like, I don't need tube amps. That's the way of the old days, you know. And then in the last few years, I've been buying them back. So I'm like, oh, I remember that amp was actually pretty sick, and I wanted to mess around with it. But using like the Axifex or the Kemper, whatever kind of digital thing, even as the Podgo, I got a buddy that uses the it's the Helix, the HX Stomp, that little like $400 one. And it sounds awesome. And it's like, it's all pretty good now. Like, really, I mean, it's fun to collect stuff. I'm pretty guilty of that, obviously. But like, at the end of the day, it's like, you just got to write a song or do something cool, you know? That's really what it is all about, you know? So
yeah. I mean, if you know, a couple episodes back, we were talking about the whole Pantera thing. Dimebag, if there was ever an offender of slapping your name on a piece of gear and selling it, it was Dimebag, because he just had countless amps, countless pedals, just stuff that he never really touched at all. You know?
Yeah, like I mean, before he had passed, it was the he was doing the Crank stuff, which Crank was a weird one because people were talking shit on Crank, but like, there's people that dig it now. I think it was just kind of like, I don't know if it was actually sick or not, but I want to try out some of those amps. But yeah, he definitely had a lot of signature gear at one point.
Like Crank amps are pretty underrated, you know. They're, because I had one of my friends has one, and it sounded sick to me, you know. But
cool.
Yeah, most of the people I want to try out would say the same thing. They were just, oh, Crank sucks. I was like, wait, what? How though? Like,
yeah, it's like everyone just accepted, like it was like 2005, and everyone was playing Cranks. You're like, oh, these suck. It's like, well, maybe the A&R guy is getting people to play them, or maybe they're actually like decent amps. I don't know. But it's just kind of, it was the flavor of the month for a minute, and everyone was jumping over to those. But
they're kind of like, they're definitely hard to come by too these days, I find.
They are. Yeah. I don't think they made as much of them as they kind of talked about the brand in general, you know. Yeah. But
man, I think this is the first time we've ever dipped into hardcore gear talk.
Yeah,
oh, really?
See, with our last guest, we didn't really like delve into gear talk. It was like,
okay.
So the first episode we had with a guest, it was like 20 minutes long. But then, as I was telling you, we might change it up a bit. You know, probably have like a fully dedicated episode. That way, everyone gets to know, you know, like you and pretty much what you're all about.
Sick. I'm excited, man.
Yeah, we're still trying to figure out our own format, essentially.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of figure out as you go. I mean, that's the thing, because if you don't know until you try it and mess around a bit, and you know, that's kind of how it goes. So
Yeah, like this is gonna be a Thanksgiving special.
Hell yeah.
So happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah, happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Right. Anyways, Max, you got anything you want to show us for like show and tell, like any guitar or?
Yeah, I wonder what you could possibly show us.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think. Yeah, I got a couple cool things I could show you guys. I have a lot of shit. I just don't want, to spend 2 hours talking about this. So, I can show you guys this new hold on, let me turn up this myself because I got to get up and then my headphones are gonna be weird. So yeah, I got that EX black metal recently from ESP, which is pretty sick. Let me grab that.
Yeah.
This guy here.
Nice.
Ooh, that's beautiful.
Yeah, it's got the the satin black thing going on, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
And, the reverse headstock, which I think looks pretty cool on the EX. But
and I see you're rocking only a bridge pickup as well.
Yeah, the black metal from ESP, they only do the bridge pickups in them. That's part of like the stripped down, just like satin black simplicity of them, which I think is pretty sick.
Yeah, it is definitely.
It's cool, man. I the first like real LTD I ever got, like the first guitar I ever got was a Squier Strat, piece of crap thing.
Yeah.
But after that I had gotten
the picture you posted, the blue
yeah,
arrow?
I have that. It's in pieces right now. I was trying to change the strings on it because I was like, I haven't played this, and I was like, oh man, the frets are all gross. I got to clean them. But then the Spurzl tuners I'd put on there as a kid, like they're not unscrewing correctly. So I was like, I'm thinking I'm gonna swap out the tuners with something else. I just haven't done it yet. I had to order the tuners, so I'm waiting for that. So right now there's no strings on it. I think I took the pickups out, so I was gonna put a different set of EMGs in there. But
nice.
Yeah, the EX, that was like the first kind of like, I was a kid and I wanted to be James Hetfield. So it's like, well, I got to get, an affordable version of what he was playing, which he's never played the EX. But as a kid, it was like, well, this is closest to an Explorer, Yeah. So it's like, I don't want an Epiphone. I want to go with ESP because that's what Hetfield plays.
Yeah.
So
yeah, no, definitely. Most
I had that guitar and I think it's cool. And I like the EX shape. I just haven't played in a while. I think what happened was I was playing mainly 7-strings. So there weren't a lot of options in the 7-string world for non-strat shapes, when I started playing 7. So I kind of drifted away from pointy guitars. But, I'm kind of coming back to that. And there's a few people that, when Warforged was on that tour back in May with Rivers of Nile and, Fallujah and Alluvial, a lot of people were like, man, you're a big dude. You should play pointy guitars.
He just pointed it.
So I wanted to get something pointy because it's like, yeah, it's kind of cool. I really want to get the EX 7-string they got. It was new for 2022, but with supply chain issues, I know everything's backed up.
Yeah.
So at some point they'll have that 7-string EX baritone ready. When those are available, I want to pick one up because I think that'll be a cool guitar. So,
oh, dude, I love the trend. I don't know if I should call it a trend. I guess for the sake of what I'm about to say, I'll call it a trend. But so, with ESP doing the black metal series, there's the Arrow, the Les Paul, the F shape, and then what you've got right there. They also did an Arctic White version of that.
Yep.
Yeah, which I'm like, dude, keep it coming. I love this idea. Just the single pickup, just the volume switch. Yeah. And then just a color, just one color.
Yeah. I mean, I think they found something cool with that. And they obviously are selling well because they have so many of them now.
Oh, yeah.
And they did the Arctic metal one. So obviously people wanted that. And like, I know Ibanez kind of did that with the new Iron labels. They got like that.
Yeah.
There's the Zyphos and the Iceman. Yeah, they did those, like same kind of vibe. So it's like they got something going. They got a winning formula there. So I'm glad to see that people are digging those and they're fairly affordable and they're like the same high quality, like, same stuff as like the 1000 series guitars. You get the locking tuners on there, real pickups, real bridge and all that. So
it's
so
important.
cool, man. It's a good guitar. So I'm very stoked on it. That's why I like ESP because like their good shit's like really good, but their cheap shit is still sick. You're not getting like a bad guitar for $500. Well, they're $1,000 for a 1000 series now because of inflation, all that crap. But they're like a good guitar that's worth it, I think. So and I've always been a fan of I just find like a used LTD. It's like, $500. You're like, all right, cool, let's do it.
Dude,
I know it's gonna be sick. So
back in the day, I had a LTD V50, and it was the cheapest. Okay. I think it was like literally $199, and it was the bottom of the barrel in terms of what they got. And I remember just playing that and being like, Jesus Christ, this plays better than some of my more expensive guitars. This is frustrating.
I know. Well, and I might have told you this at one of the shows in the last month, but what happened to me was I had like a mayonnaise, like it was like a swamp ash body, like the black sandblast top they did or do, and it was a 7-string baritone, and I spent like $3,000 on it, and it was like the most I'd ever spent on a guitar, and I'm like, I'm gonna buy like the nicest guitar.
Yeah, dude.
And I put on a credit card, and it was stupid. But I got the guitar. I waited a while.
I can relate to that, Max. I did the same thing with my Kiesel.
Don't do that, people. Be careful. Unless you got the money to pay on it. I was really dumb back then, but I was like, I got to get this guitar. It's going to be so sick. And then I got it, and it's like it was good, but it wasn't like life-changing. Like I built it up in my head like this is going to be the best thing in the world, and it wasn't. And I was like, oh, and I kind of lied to myself. I'm like, yeah, this is a cool guitar. And I was like, I'm not really playing this so much. Yeah. And then later I joined Warforged, and I only had 7 strings except for one 6-string that I had at the time, and which is in my case behind me there. Okay. But it's like a purple H1000, which I can show you guys at some point, I guess. But I picked it up, and it's like, Korean made LTD. It's not this high end thing, but I'm like, this plays better than the mayonnaise. Like, and this guitar didn't cost nearly as much. I was like, ooh, maybe I made a mistake. So
dude. Hey,
I stopped kind of, yeah. So I was like, I have some expensive ESP stuff, like Made in Japan stuff, but like, I just can't. It's hard to justify that really expensive, like boutique kind of gear now, because it's like the budget stuff is like really good.
Yeah, the budget stuff is killing it lately.
So let's double back again to the guitar that you were just given. How did that come around? Were you talking with ESP, or
honestly, it was Wes Houck from Alluvial. He he was able to get me in touch with the A&R guy at ESP. He knew that I was a big fan of him, and really into that stuff. And he's honestly one of the coolest dudes I've ever met in my entire life. Such a humble stand-up guy. That whole band, honestly, all those dudes are fucking awesome. I love them with all my heart. And so big shout out to Wes for that help with that, because I think after some time maybe I could have gotten there, but he definitely got my foot in the door. So that was cool. Dude. And obviously he was the A&R guy, Tony, was willing to give me a hand, which was cool, because Warforged isn't a tiny band, but we obviously have a lot to grow with, a lot of room to grow rather. So it was cool that they were willing to give me a shot. So I'm pretty stoked on it. Incredibly grateful for the opportunity. So and it's not like,
man.
Thank you, I appreciate that. It's something where it's just like, man, I've been playing them. I'd played ESP, then I kind of had that venture into other shit, like I'm gonna buy expensive guitars, and I'm kind of back on only ESP, and it's just like they just feel good and
feels right.
Yeah, it's like, and it's like I don't want like free gear because it's like free. I want gear that I want to play,
Yeah.
And that's, I think, very important. Is a lot of dudes will just like, oh, this is it's like, this is the best guitar ever. It's like, well, no, do you mean that, or are you just kind of fucking around, So I think if someone came up to me like, hey Max, you want to play this? She's like, nah, I'm good, So it's like I'd want to only do it with something I actually really play. So not that I have any say in
as well.
Yeah, it's like, not that anyone gives a shit what I do, but it's like, I think you got to be honest, and that's definitely a Warforged theme in the last year and a half, is just honesty through all aspects of that band, and I think this kind of resounds with that. So
very good, man.
Very sick.
Again, congratulations. When we saw that post, when I saw it, I was just thinking, I'm like, Jesus, that's just happy for you, because
thank you.
Very little, obviously I just met you. Brian over here has known you, but when you actually know somebody who's getting good fortune, I think that you should only feel good about that.
Yeah, definitely.
When somebody gets raised up a little bit, that's just awesome.
It's always great to support everyone on their accomplishments.
Thanks. Yeah, I agree with that. I think the people who don't do that are the kind of people that don't get very far in life. I think you got to be stoked on people. You got to have a positive outlook on that thing.
Exactly.
So if you're young and I know being young and I would like, oh, this band's playing this show at this venue. I wanted to play there. It's like, well, I'm sitting at home. I got to do something to make that happen. I think that's the key. It's like that's important. So.
Oh yeah. That's part of it. Hustling. You gotta do the hustle.
Speaking of hustle, what has Warforged been up to lately?
We're working on new music right now, so nothing touring at the moment. So hopefully next year we'll be doing that soon. But yeah, right now we got a bunch of songs we're finishing up and hopefully record those soon and get those released at some point. I'm not sure when. That's too far in the future for me to know at the moment, but. Just working on new material and it sounded cool, so I'm pretty excited about it.
I've heard snippets of two because Jason and your brother did a live stream on the Instagram page, the Warforged
cool.
Instagram page.
Okay.
Yeah, so I heard a bit of a snippet of two of them. I don't know the names. Well, they didn't. I don't even think they gave them names. They just they probably gave them like nicknames, but nothing like official yet. And I liked what I heard.
Yeah.
Cool. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, because I remember they were doing the live stream, but I didn't tune in to know what songs they were working on. I could guess, but all the songs have they've got temporary titles that the file is named from Guitar Pro file or the demo, and then they have the final name that Jason and Alex have done, but I can't remember. I think I know both of them at this point, but it's hard for me to remember which one's which. I have to think about it for a second. So I know the working titles, but
at some point there were audio issues with the stream, so I only got to hear like a glimpse of like the second one just a bit, but it was just cutting in and out. But, and so far I did like what I heard.
Was it a pair of headphones like at the phone to play it? Because like Alex's setup is the opposite. I love my brother because he is able to he has the brand Agile guitars. He's got an Agile Texan, which is like their Telecaster, but it's a 7-string, but has a single coil in the bridge. So it's like the weirdest 7-string. It's like it's a hillbilly 7-string. It's not meant for gent or something, right?
Yeah.
So, but he demos everything on that, and it's and he's got a Focusrite. I think it's a 6i6, and as far as I remember, the headphone jack wasn't working, or the headphones weren't working, so he has books under it or CDs under it to hold the headphone jack in. Nice. And it's just but he's so creative, and it's man, I get picking oh, this guitar, the action's a little too high, I can't I'm not creative right now because I'm worried about that. Pick another one, I'm fine, right? But so I know his recording setup when him and Jason are doing that, it's kind of a little janky, but it's Alex. I respect it. I think it's cool. So
all right, so let's go into that a little bit with your fancy boom mic arm. I'm gonna go ahead and guess that you record a lot of your ideas and then you just send them off to the rest of the band. I mean, are you the more technological one? Would you say in the band when it comes to that?
Yeah, I mean, myself and Jace are pretty technical, probably the most technical guys in the band in general. Alex has become more like that, and Jason is working towards that as well. But Jason with drums, it's we did the last album, we did the pre-production drums here. I have an E-kit, so we just did that, and it worked out pretty well. Nice. But, the new stuff, we're doing it in our practice space just because, with an E-kit, the hi-hat isn't quite the same. Yeah. There's a few little differences with that, and, he wanted to play it on a real kit and get that feeling this time versus doing it the last time with the E-kit. So,
so sorry to interrupt you. So that's what you guys did for the group Sundial with the E-kit, or was that
we just did that for pre-pro stuff?
Oh, for pre-pro.
So for voice, we actually did that too for voice. That's right, because I was at my house in Glen Ellen then, and we had a set of my living room where we had the E-kit in there. So we did actually do that for voice as well. But Sundial, voice and Sundial, we did the pre-pro drums on an E-kit. So right. But then obviously recorded a real kit for the album at Bricktop with Pete Grossman. So he knows how to make it. Well, voice was done by Paul Alukalesi, our old guitar player, and then the Grove was done by Sundial was done by Pete. Yeah. So, but Alex is technical. He kind of started teaching himself that over COVID. I think we were kind of stuck at home, so he started. I don't know if you've heard of his synthwave, vaporwave stuff, the False Reality. He's got like a little solo project. Yeah, it's pretty cool if you're into that kind of thing. It's pretty awesome. But he kind of like just started learning Reason. I think he had a free trial, and he just started going into it and just learned it. And he's actually gotten really good at like production stuff.
Wow, that's pretty sick, actually.
Yeah, it's cool, and he's always been a quick learner. You know, he's a smart. He's a smart kid. So you know, he figured that out, and you know, he got an Axe Effects right before COVID to use live for like bass, and he had that. And he's like, oh, I can like record guitar now, because before that he really didn't. I mean, he could use the plugin, but you know, he didn't. He wasn't aware of that. So now he's got the Axe Effects and all this cool stuff to kind of demo stuff out. So you know, him and I and Jace are all capable of demoing music at this point, you know. So
okay, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I mean, I mean, just going into the studio with that, just basically having it all in hand, essentially makes things so much easier.
Yeah, I think you kind of have to do that now, where it's like the way the business is like you have to be able to do this shit on your own, because if you can't, like, I mean, you don't have to, but none of us have money.
Time and money. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, it's like if you want to go to a studio and do that, it's like no band has like 10 grand to drop on that, you know. No. So it's like whatever you can do on your own, it's going to be the best move, you know. So
Jesus.
And that's the key, I think, is kind of being as self-sufficient as you can, because you can save money, you can take time, because you know, we all work jobs, so it's nice. Like with the Grove, you know, Jason and I recorded the guitars in our free time just at home with our Kempers, and then we reamped them here. And then Alex would come by, I'd work on the bass with him. So it was kind of you know, if we had booked the studio time for that, we would have probably gone insane trying to get all that stuff done in like a week or something, you know. So that would have been nuts. So
just trying to get everybody on the same page is hard enough, you know.
It's hard, man. Yeah, and the older you get, the harder it is, because the more people have jobs that are super stressful and require their time, or a family, wife and kids, whatever it might be. Yeah, it's not like when you're 18. Yeah, you're in your high school and you just go down the street to your buddy's house and you just play guitar, you know.
Yeah.
The worst thing you have is a Spanish test or something, right? So.
Right, yeah. You just blow off.
Yeah.
So speaking about the Grove, so it's the Grove Sundial?
Yeah, the Grove. Yeah. Yeah, so, it's based off of oh, go ahead, sorry.
I was actually about to ask you. So what is that based off from, actually?
Yeah, so it was kind of a reaction to Voice in some ways. When Adrian left the band, he had wrote all of Voice, so we were kind of trying to think of how to continue with the band. And you know, the Voice is a concept album, and there was other concepts after that were planned out. And we were kind of like, do we continue this concept? Do we do our own thing? And it just made sense to do our own thing, because the concept was really Adrian's thing, and for us to try to do that would have felt, you know, disingenuous. So it made sense to kind of do our own take on it, where the idea is like the Grove, where you have this grove, it's this, you know, environment where things are flourishing in all sorts of different ways, where you could have, you know, whatever kind of beauty you want in there. And that was kind of the plan, was like, let's just kind of like, the Grove is supposed to be this collection of songs that, you know, don't have this rhyme or reason, and just kind of explore all these different things we want to explore. So
that's pretty sick, though, actually.
Thanks. Yeah. It worked out pretty well, and we're pretty proud of how it turned out with that. And you know, every song kind of has its own different tale to tell.
Yeah, it definitely does. I've been like I said, I've been following you guys since like the Essence days. Actually, I think a little before that, when they released the Hyperbolic Time Chamber.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then Essence came in.
Different band completely from that.
Yeah, it was
not even the same.
No, exactly. But yeah, like I can tell, like, you know, with every like release you guys have made, you know, it's just something new every single time I would check it out.
Yeah, that's kind of the goal, is like, we just don't want to do the same thing again.
Right.
At least honestly, the goal is just to kind of be really proud of what we put out, I think, too. You know, it's like, you just want to put out music that you're like, if someone says it sucks, you just don't care, because you know you're happy with it. I think that's
right.
The key.
You know, that's what matters most. You know, as long as you're happy with what you're making, that's the way to go.
Yeah, and that's a cool feeling, because I you know, if you're ever not confident about something, it's like, well, just don't do it then. You know,
don't release it, obviously.
Yeah, yeah, you got to be stoked on it, or else and that's the thing too. It's like, I'm not stoked on this. Why am I doing it? You know, this is hard.
Exactly.
There's a lot of shit you got to do to make an album and to get a band together. So if I don't like it at all, why would I do it? You know?
Yeah, why do it then?
Yeah,
no,
it's like,
either way,
go make money somewhere else.
I think the Grove is a step up.
That starts teetering on job territory there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah. Well, thanks. I appreciate you say it's a step up. It's definitely a different direction in a lot of ways, and just a completely different feel, because it is, because the guy who wrote voice isn't in the band anymore. It's different guys doing it, so it's going to sound different. But we tried to kind of follow in that sound to some degree, and kind of try to scare people a bit maybe, but also like take you on a ride. It's not like the whole album's taking you on a ride, but like certain songs will for sure take you on a journey.
I would say, I guess I sort of felt like that with The Place That Breaks Your Bones. Same thing
Cool.
with Sheridan Road.
Yeah. I think Sheridan's a really good journey song, because it definitely kind of it's got like a verse and chorus, but it kind of twists and turns a bit, which is part of like the lyrical theme too. It's a good kind of does a lot for you.
Yeah,
so,
I remember seeing you guys play it live. Like when I first heard it, I think this was Reggie's. I was like, "Holy shit, this is a new song!"
Yeah,
and then it just goes from like you have Alex singing, and I was like, "Wow!" I was not expecting that. Clean vocals, and then it just goes into like a different direction, and then it just gets heavier and heavier as it goes on.
For
and then
sure.
there's your
and
solo as well.
yeah, that's right. I forgot you covered that. Thanks, man. That was very cool. You did a good job with that too, man. You played better than me, I think.
Oh, thanks. I've been meaning to ask. I was like, how did I do? And be brutally
honest.
No,
you did great. Yeah, it's like, oh, you did it just fine. You did a great job. Everything, it's good.
Thanks, man. That means
like,
a lot.
Cool. Yeah, I'm glad I was able to write a solo that like someone could play too, because that's the thing. I suck at soloing, man. I'm not. It's not my bread and butter. Never has been. And I try to play some solos. I'm like, dude, I don't know what the hell's going on. And like this one was just kind of more like I actually wrote it by humming it out. So I was trying to think of a solo, and I was like, oh, that's an idea in my head. So I just sung it into like Cubase, and then figured out the guitar parts from that. So it was meant to be kind of more melodic and like more simple in that way. So it's cool, and I like it because I can play it.
Well, no, either way, it's a really sick solo.
Thanks.
I personally love it. It's probably one of. I would consider it my number one favorite solo. After that, it'd be The Place That Breaks Your Bones.
Cool.
I believe that was Jace who plays that one, right? Or
yeah, Jace played that one. I think it was based off of like Alex wrote that song, and he put like a placeholder solo in it. And I know Jace changed it up and made it a little more Jace like, but I think Alex kind of wrote some of that too.
Oh, that's pretty sick.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
So yeah, I think the ones Jace wrote, he wrote first track, he wrote the No Land Man solo, he wrote the Hymn of Broken Teeth solo, he wrote the Bliss Joined to the Bane solo. And I think those were the three that he wrote.
The Bliss Joined to the Bane music video is hilarious.
Thanks. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. That was a cool video to make.
I just like how the guys of Inferi come in. They have like vegetables and baking soda.
Yeah, that was a good time, man. That was very fun.
How was filming that? And like, could you tell us like the experience of filming that music video? Or
yeah, I mean, we went down to Nashville. I think it was back in March of this year. We drove down there for a weekend and we filmed a video with those guys. And yeah, I mean, Jason kind of had most of the ideas for that, and he just the guys Malcolm and Mike and Fury Artist in there, they were very down for it, and we just went ahead and did it. I think that was like a what do you call them, the things you rent, Airbnb. It was an Airbnb. We filmed that in. And yeah, it was just a lot of fun. We just kind of Jason had these shot ideas, and we just kind of shot them and fucked around, and we all were hanging out, and it was just very cool. It was a good time, and it was kind of the first time I remember really hanging out with like a group of band dudes since COVID almost, kind of, and it was a good time. It was a lot of fun to kind of just hang out with your buddies and screw around and make a video.
That's pretty sick, man.
Hey Max, I'm gonna cut you off for a second because this says that it's about to shut down here.
Yeah.
Sure. And we'll come back in.
Yeah, I'm going to send you a new invite to
cool.
another. Hopefully, this will last another half an hour or so.
Yeah, because we got a prompt at some point that's like, "Oh, the meeting's ending soon." And I was like, "Wait, what?"
Yeah, I see it says.
Yeah.
You cut it off.
Okay.
A few moments later.
Okay, good. Jesus Christ. I'm like, I kept trying to interject nicely. I'm like,
yeah, no, Mike pointed, and I was like, what is he pointing at? I was like, oh.
I'm like, can everybody see that? I'm wondering if you saw it on your end too.
I did, yeah, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna say something, but I forgot. And then you said it.
I was just like, oh, wait, what's that?
I did like an off-screen point to the to the timer.
Yeah, that's when I was just like, what is he doing? Oh,
yeah. Like
I forgot Zoom
I'm just
did that.
crazy.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
I use Zoom at work we just do like this thing where we get together and just kind of talk, to simulate like we're in the office. Although we're in the office 2 days of the week, so we really don't need to do it anymore. But my boss ended up paying for it because we got sick of it kicking us out.
Oh yeah. Oh God, I also envy you that you have a job that I'm assuming you work from home, right?
I work from home. I do like computer programming. So
God damn it.
oh, that's sick.
it's cool. Yeah, it's a good.
Yeah.
So
good
it's
job.
like pretty flexible when you guys are like are on tour as well, right? Or...
Yes, and that's the best. One of the best things about it is like I've been there like 9.5 years now, so everyone there is super supportive of the band and just letting me go do that, and I can work remote in the van if I want to, so it's cool. It's a good time.
Nice. It's always great to have a job that like supports what you're trying to do as well.
Yeah, it really is, and it's like, guys, don't worry, I'm not going to quit for this. I'm not going to, we'll be all right. So I know
that's very conducive.
They're super supportive. So it's
so
cool.
What's it like being on the road? Like, what's it like to tour? Actually,
Ooh, good transition, Brian.
Yeah, man, it's dude, it's I don't know, it's probably the most fun I've ever had. It's super stressful at times. There's you have to have a lot of patience. Just because you're waiting so long and stuff goes wrong and stuff changes constantly, but it's so much fun hanging out with your friends and just meeting new people and just being able to like meet people under those circumstances where it's like you're playing in a band and everyone there gets it. It's not like I was cool in high school, like I didn't really have too many friends, and with that it's like you're all kind of in school, everyone's doing their own thing, right? And then it's like it feels cool to be an adult now, and you're hanging out with these people that you're all there for the same reason. You all understand this music in the way that you do, right. And there's an understanding there. And I think it's really cool to meet those people, and especially like dudes in other bands. It's like if you take the time to like start a band, get good enough to like be able to tour, release an album, all that stuff. It's like there's this like unspoken respect you kind of have for each other that I think is really cool. And it's fun to kind of get to know those people. It's kind of like you don't have to like introduce yourself. There's like this. It's like, okay, all right, let's move to the next step of our friendship because like we get what's going on here. I really like that, and that's a lot of fun. That's just cool. Meeting all those people and hanging out with your buddies in the van, and you spend.
I was gonna say, I think
10 hours traveling, but you're just screwing around, or maybe you're just sleeping. Yeah. It's one of those days, but. A lot of times there's a lot of jokes and it's fun.
I was going to say, I think the biggest toll that would be taken on me is simply the van just being in and out of a car most of the time,
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it can be taxing. I mean, I'm a big dude, so it's hard to sleep in a van.
Oh yeah.
I didn't even think about that part of it.
Yeah. It's like, that kind of sucks, but it's like, I'll sleep when I'm at home. It's like I don't sleep the best, but that's kind of part of the fun too, is just like when you have like a normal life and you're just kind of working a job and things, you can shower every day, you can eat whenever you want. There's no like limits on things. It's like to go from that to like being on a tour and you're like, oh, I can't like shit right now. Like I might shit my pants because we can't stop and there's nothing around here. It's like kind of like makes it just a complete 180 on like the comforts you get used to,
Oh yeah.
And it's a little weird, but it sometimes can feel nice to kind of have that going on. So
have that luxury,
Any kind of nutrition just goes out the window.
Oh yeah, it's terrible. Yeah, just eating crap, and you can eat well. I just choose not to a lot of times. Like but that's kind of half the fun too.
Hot dogs.
Yeah, or just a Taco Bell, $20 at a Taco Bell, and you're good. So
they got some of the greatest deals. $5 boxes.
Yeah, they do. If you're smart, I'm not smart at Taco Bell, dude. I'll get like the quesadillas, and those are like $6 now.
Oh my god!
So you get like 2 quesadillas. Like I got a chicken and a steak, and then you get like 3 burritos. You're like, oh, that's like $20. All right, let's do it.
Do you happen to
any
have
sauce?
Any sauce? I was like, any crazy like tour stories or anything that that might have happened you want to talk about, or?
Yeah, I mean, there's probably a couple. I don't want to talk about anyone else's things because that's them, and I wouldn't want to say it and embarrass them if they're probably cool with talking about it. But I mean, first one I can think of is the first tour we did. We rented a van for it, and it was like 7 days. We played out west. It was like Denver was the first show, and then we hit like New Mexico and Arizona, and a couple days in California. And then we went back home. But the second to last show was in San Francisco, and we stayed with Ron Casey, the drummer from Inanimate Existence. Shout out Ron Casey, he's a good dude.
Shit.
We crashed at his place, and everyone left their personal belongings at his place because we were going to stay there after the San Francisco show. We stayed there before the San Francisco show, and then we stayed there after. So it was like we were going to be there for 2 days. So it's like, oh well, you could just leave your stuff here because we'll be back here anyway. I was like, well, maybe I want to change my shirt, so I brought my shit with me and I left it in the van.
Okay.
And everyone's like, San Francisco sucks. You're gonna get robbed. I'm like, I think I'll be okay. So we play the show, and I come back out, and someone had smashed the window of the van and took my fucking bag because that was the only thing in the van because I was the only one who left my shit in the van. And so it was funny though, because at that show I actually did need to switch my shirt because I was standing against this wall that someone had like recently painted. I had a car bomb shirt on, and it was covered with paint on the back. I'm like, I'll put on another shirt. And sure enough, when I didn't put the car bomb shirt back in my bag because it was covered in paint. So I put it over the seat, and they took the shirt, but they like threw it on the ground at some point when they were running off with my stuff. So someone did find the shirt like a couple, walks, a few, walk down there. And so I got that shirt back, which is cool. And the paint came off, so I still wear that. So that's cool.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
But all my other stuff was gone. Like I had a handful of different shirts. A Candiria shirt it was like a baseball tee that I really liked that got taken. I had because it was the first tour I ever had done, so I didn't know what to bring with. So I brought my Game Boy Advance, thinking I'll play Game Boy, and I never did. I've never had time really to play games in the bus or the van. But I wish bus in the van because I'm driving or working or something. But I had a copy of Doom 2 and Doom 1 for the Game Boy Advance, and I love Doom. It's my favorite game, and those are really hard to find now, and I wish I had those.
And they took them.
Yeah, they took them, and I had like prescription sunglasses because my vision sucks. So it's like, have fun with that, dude. What are you gonna do with those glasses? Yeah, you're gonna wear them? No,
yeah, dude.
So stuff like that. It was just like, this is a bummer, but I still had a lot of fun, and that's what's cool. I think about touring is like it was that much fun where you can get your shit stolen and be like, what are you gonna do, And and then on the ride back, so what happened too is because someone smashed out the van window to get our shit, we didn't have a window, so we were trying to call like insurance to get that figured out, and no one had the window in stock. So it's like, well, we can't drive from San Francisco back to Chicago with a busted window. I mean, I guess you can, but it's like none of us wanted to do that. So we had to swap out the van, which was a 15-passenger Ford Transit. Okay. We swapped it out at Enterprise for a 12-passenger Chevy Express, which, that tour we didn't have a trailer. We were borrowing another band's drum kit, and we used their cabs and stuff. Mm-hmm. So we could fit everything, us 5 dudes and our stuff, in a 15-passenger Transit, but a 12-passenger Chevy Express wasn't the right size. So we couldn't get it in the back. We had to like put our 14-space rack with all of our gear in it like on the front seat, like the first bench. So it was like 2 dudes in the front, 1 dude in the first bench, and then 2 dudes in the back. It was just like, and all of our gear was just surrounding us. So like I was in the back. I had like 1 shirt that I got from another band, and then I'm sitting in the back, and Adrian had like this cooler, and at some point the cooler started leaking. So I'm sitting there. I wake up, and I had all this it smelled like old bread. My pants just reeked of like this old bread smell. And we're driving home, and it's like this 2-day drive from Sacramento to Chicago, and I'm just like, my pants are all wet. They stink. I'm just like, this sucks.
I smell like old bread.
Yeah, I was like, well, if I had my clothes, I could swap my pair of pants, but I don't. So here we are, And that Ford Transit we got was like pretty sick, and then that Chevy Express we had was not nearly as sick. So it was kind of a downgrade, but it was just a long 2 days back home. But it ended up being still a good time, still having fun and joking, and it was a good time driving back even. So yeah. So it's weird, but it was ended up being cool. So, but that's the lesson there, is if you are playing in any city that at all feels sketchy, put your shit either bring it into the venue, throw it in the trailer, and lock the trailer. Do not leave it in the van where someone can grab it because they will.
Yeah.
And I'm glad I learned that lesson earlier, and I was glad it was with T-shirts and not like a nice guitar or something.
Oh,
so,
right.
Dude, even the show the what was it? The Bottom Lounge?
Yeah, well, the one,
even that show, the poor guy from Wormhole that got what was his bass stolen, right?
I'm not sure if they had any gear stolen. I think they had like personal belongings stolen.
Oh, even that, it's like, dude, we were all out there. We were hanging out. Like,
sucks.
What happened? You know?
Yeah,
Like,
and it's like,
Jesus.
and that area used to be kind of shitty, and it's definitely a lot better now. And I'm surprised that like, I thought it had gotten better now where it wasn't on my mind like that. 10 years ago, I would have been thinking about that, but yeah, it just sucks. It's like, it doesn't matter where you are, who you are, they will try to steal your shit. You know?
Usually, well, I would usually hear like, you know, the nicer areas is where you're supposed to be like, I guess, a little more concerned, you know, on where you put stuff, because that's usually like the place where it is least expected to get your stuff stolen.
True.
So once, you know, there's a window of opportunity to get it, they're just gonna go, you know, do it.
Yeah, they will.
I guess that's the thing I have in mind, and a lot of my friends told me, it's like, hey, you know, make sure, you know, no matter where you are, be very wary of like, you know, your personal belongings. Otherwise,
someone will try to take them, dude, and it sucks. And it's definitely it dampers the situation, because that show in San Francisco was like really good. We played really well. That was probably the best show of the tour. And you come out from the show, you're loading your gear out, and you're like, oh, the window's smashed. You know, like fuck.
You're on top of the mountain. And...
Yeah, then you just
it all goes down from here.
But I think that goes to what I was saying earlier about touring. It's like you really have to have like a patience and kind of like a, you know, you have to be able to take the ups and downs and be good with stuff. Just, I mean, that's life in general. Stuff changes on a dime like that. But I think with touring in the course of, you know, a month or even 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 1 week, whatever tour you're doing, shit can change in a second. So you just got to be ready for that. You got to be able to handle whatever life throws at you, for sure, because it can be kind of fucked up. So
I bet. So with that being said, like I would, what would be like, you know, your what would be your top 5 like favorite venues that you've played at, you know, over the course of like, I don't know how many tours you guys have gone on, but
yeah, I mean, I think number 1 will always be like Reggie's. Like, I just like Reggie's. It feels good. It's not the biggest stage, but it's like always fun, and there's always a good crowd. And
great restaurant next door as well.
Yeah, and that's what's cool too. Like, I mean, you get like, as a band, you get like a food ticket. Like, that's sick.
Oh, that's sick.
Because that was one thing we noticed back in May. It's like all these places that since COVID, like the restaurants were closing super early. So like if it's like 10 o'clock and you're done with your set, you can't like get Taco Bell because everything closed at like 9. Or any of the restaurants down the street might have been like unique one-off restaurants that were like legitimately good and not fast food. Like they were all closed, and it's like, well, fuck. So it's like Reggie's is like, oh, good, I got a meal I know I can get here, which is awesome. So, and it's good food. So, but yeah, that's the hometown base. That's always been a cool venue. But other than that, like, man, there's a lot of cool ones. The one we played in Greensboro, North Carolina, I think it was called the Blind Tiger. I heard that maybe had closed, like they were serving underage kids or something, you know.
Oh,
something not so great, or maybe I don't know. Maybe it wasn't that. I don't know. I don't want to spread rumors, but
red flag.
Yeah, but it was a cool venue, like a big stage, which I love. A big stage as a big guy, I like having room on stage.
Yeah.
So that was a cool venue, good sound, really good crowd. That was a lot of fun there. There's a venue in is it Dallas? I think it's Amplified Live. It's in Dallas. Yeah, it's in Dallas, not Houston. I was going to say Houston, but no, it's Dallas. Amplified Live, it's like this outdoor venue, and that's just like very sick, playing outside. You know, it was super hot when we played there in Texas. You know, you're sweating, and you know, you got to put on sunscreen, but it was very cool. That was a good venue, good show, good food there too. That was cool. It's right next to this like cowboy bar, like this, like, you know, people dancing on tables, like, like after the show, Kevin and I from Alluvial went over to the bar, because my brother went over there. He's like, dude, this place is like a movie. There's like guys in cowboy hats like shaking each other, and everyone's like standing on the tables dancing. And Kevin and I were like, we gotta go check this out. So we went over there. It's just like so many people so many people, and there's all these people talking and dancing and like on tables like doing these like line dances, and we're just like, dude, this is sick. Like, what the fuck is going
I've
on?
never seen that before.
Yeah, I think it's called like Red River or something, Red River Bar. I don't know, but it's nuts. So yeah, if you're ever at Amplified Live, go over there afterwards on a Thursday and make sure you're wearing a belt, because you have to wear a belt for some reason. Jason was trying to go in and they wouldn't let him in because he wasn't wearing a belt. I don't know why that's a requirement for the dress code, but it was there. But yeah, that place was tight.
Yeah, that's the first I've ever heard of that.
Right?
Heard of belts.
It's like, why the fuck do I need a belt? You know, like whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was cool. That's a good venue. Cool town. What else was cool? I thought the venue we played in Arizona, in Phoenix or Mesa, Arizona, the Nile Theater. I think that's what's out there. But that was a cool room, big room, good stage.
Nice.
Good crowd. The venue in LA, 1720. That's a cool venue. A lot of bands seem to be playing there. You know, I see like they're coming through LA, and you're like, oh yeah, okay, cool. I remember playing there. It was a good sized venue. They got like what's that?
I said I might have heard of 1720 before. I think.
Yeah, if you look at like any flyer of bands coming through, they usually are playing there now. But they had like $15 White Claws.
Oh,
it's just like, are you
what?
kidding me?
15.
It's like
Jesus.
What? But yeah, it was cool. It's a cool venue though. It's a good stage and everything. But yeah, I mean, also I think the first tour we did, we played in Gallup, New Mexico, which is a cool town. Very kind of like the people there are just very down to earth, very salt of the earth kind of people. But we played this place called Wowie's Event Center, which is just like an open room that you could host like an event in. But we played outside on like the stage they built. And there was like an Indigenous Peoples Day thing they had at the town that day, and like people who like the good people, like the wholesome people went to that, and all the like the fringe people came to the show, all the people that were down to hang.
Nice.
So it was a cool crowd, and there was like people like pulled up in their cars. It was like a drive-in show kind of thing. It was awesome. That was like a very sick time and just a cool venue. And the guy there the promoter made us like brisket, which was cool. So
dude,
yeah,
awesome.
it was a good time. That was a cool venue. It was definitely like weird, but it was just like something different. You know, not every day you get to play in a parking lot.
Wowies?
You know? Yeah, Wowies. WOWIE. Wowies.
Another side note. We were talking earlier about this, but when we saw not King Diamond, well, me and my wife went to go see Merciful Fate.
Oh yeah, okay.
A couple days ago, and just the hilariousness of everybody coming out from that show onto the Hard Rock Casino amphitheater like floor where they've got all the machines, and just seeing the complete and total oppositeness of like what was going on.
Dude, I'd imagine that's fucking cool.
That just reminds me a little bit of what you just said.
How was that show sick? Because I saw that and people were all bitching about it being in Gary, which I get, but
yeah,
it looked like it'd be cool. You know?
I think honestly that was the most negative part about it, but I don't care. You know, I'm assuming just because of where they're from, maybe. I don't know. They're just looking more at capacity than actual location, if that makes sense.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean,
sense.
also, I can't comment on how much. I have no idea what they're getting paid to be hosted at the Hard Rock, casino. It's like,
I mean, there's probably something going on there for sure.
It's got to be a nice little check.
Probably.
Yeah.
Never been
right?
there before.
You know, they probably said, hey, well, you know, obviously the booking agent got some sort of deal and said, hey,
yeah,
King Diamond, this is the place you want to be.
Yeah,
you know?
to Gary.
To Gary.
They're gonna give you like $100 in free gambling tokens. So,
Yeah.
and he's like, yeah, let's do it. I don't know. There's something. going on there,
but
yeah,
it was awesome. It sounded great.
Cool.
My biggest thing was just, because it is a gigantic venue, there was a little bit of like sound kind of like, I don't know, like booming off of walls and stuff.
Okay.
But it was good. It sounded great. I remember I went to go use the washroom, and they have the front of the house going through the speakers in the bathroom, so you can hear there's no leaving, like you hear it all the way through, whatever is going on. So I'm like literally on the toilet, and I'm just hearing like just the band. Yeah.
Dude, that's cool though, man. Yeah, so you can't escape it, which is sick. So you don't miss anything by going and taking a shit.
It was fantastic. I was literally there, and just like, this is a new song that we're working on. And I'm like, oh, sweet.
Yeah. That's cool. That's cool that Merciful Fate's like doing shit. That is pretty cool.
It's awesome, man.
You know, never would have thought, like, when I was a kid listening to, like, you know, listening to that and like, oh, they'll be back when you're an adult.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Very cool.
Yeah, and obviously Creator was fantastic. They were on the bill too.
Cool.
And Midnight was also on there. That's one of those bands like I've seen a couple times in different scenarios. I think they were a little just because of maybe the arena, you know. They're a very good live show. And I remember the last time I saw them was at the Forge. They were jumping on, you know, the amps and just like all over the place. They had so much energy, and I think they had to quell that because they were at the Hard Rock, you know.
Yeah,
they didn't want to break
or
anything.
Something or, yeah.
They were on their best behavior, and they're like, you know, just like, all right, Mr. Diamond, you know, we'll be good.
Yeah, well, you don't want to be opening up and like, you know, you break shit of the headliner's shit, you know. You don't want to. That's a bad move, you know. So makes sense. You want to tame that a bit, you know. So.
Oh yeah. But yeah, it was fantastic.
Very fantastic.
That's cool.
Well, with all that, how about this, guys? You know, what would be like so the whole top 10 albums of 2022? It could be like a whole group effort. You know, it doesn't have to be just you, Max. You know, we can.
Yeah, because I don't listen to new music a lot. I'm really bad with that. Like I like stuff will come out and I'll be like, I'll listen to a song. I'm like, cool, but I listen to like 6 bands, like, and that's like all I listen to. And then like, okay, I love Soilwork, the new Soilwork album, awesome. You know, I checked that out as soon as it came out. I was so stoked for that. And but yeah, I listen to like Soilwork like all the time, so it's like, of course I'm gonna check that out. But I don't. And it's bad of me. I should be like listening to new shit, but I have Alex and Jason to do that for me, and like kind of they'll send me what's good and what I should check out, you know. So I got, but I'm not the best with that. I'm kind of a bad guy.
Yeah. Okay. So let's not do the top 20. Jesus Christ.
I said 10, not 20.
You said 20.
No, I said 10, sir.
I'm like, God.
I think you said 10 of 2022.
Yeah,
so.
exactly. There you go.
All right.
Thank you, Max.
Happy medium. I'm like, I don't know. I can't even
I'm not doing
name
20. I can't. So look, I can barely do 10 because I mean, I guess I would say I'm sort of the same situation.
I can barely do 5.
See, I try keeping up with new music whenever I'm driving, so I'll listen to like a full album like on the way to work and back. But yeah, I mean, I also struggle keeping up with the new stuff.
It's hard, man. I mean, like, and all the bands, like, yeah, I listen to, like, the new Revocation. That sounds sick. I think the new Efflusia's great.
Oh my god, yes.
Like, and like I said, the new Soilwork is awesome. Like, but I love everything Soilwork does. It doesn't matter, you know. Which honestly, too, sucks so hard to hear about David Anderson. Their guitar player passed away.
Right.
Like I think it was September now, and man, he like changed that band. Not to go in a big Soilwork thing, but like with a band like Soilwork, where you got Peter Witchers, the dude who was that band, leaving the band, and then they still made a great album, The Living Infinite. Like that is, I think, unheard of a lot of times where someone that fundamental to the band.
Infinite is actually the first Soilwork album I heard.
Nice. There's a lot of people that say that now, which is awesome, and it's like it's that big and like that great of an album where like it really brought a lot of people into that band, which is so sick. And he was such a big part of that, and it really sucks to to hear that he passed away, because I think he really did change that band for the better in some ways, and kind of was able to make that band like become its own thing again without having to rely on like, oh, the original guy quit, they suck now. It's like, no, they're still good. It's a different sound, but it's still Soilwork. And I thought that's always really cool about them. They always have their sound. And to go along with that, Mellow Death, the Halo Effect album that came out.
Oh, that's
very
good.
sick.
Yeah.
I love In Flames. I love Soilwork. I love all that Mellow Death shit. So that was a cool album. I'm really glad that like exists, because you never would have thought that,
Fantastic.
So that was cool. Trying to remember what else I've listened to this year. Those are probably like the 4 that I've really checked out. There's definitely more, but I like can't remember them.
Well,
and I feel bad.
Off of what you said earlier, with you can't believe like Merciful Fate is still coming out with new stuff. It's like a lot of these bands they'll keep going, and one of my biggest. I used to be an Amon Amarth fan, like hardcore in the early stuff, and now their later stuff has just almost completely lost me, and I'm like,
Okay.
Man, this is kind of disappointing. But with like Revocation, with that latest album that they just came out, it's incredible.
Yeah,
You know,
dude, it's awesome, man.
It sort of reminds me of like their older stuff, like Empire of the Obscene with like Enter the Hall. No, not Enter the Hall. Existence is Futile. Their first two albums. That's kind of like, I guess, like the vibe that I got from that album. It reminds me of like more of their older stuff with a bit of like, prog and here and there.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, they definitely have like a sound, and I don't think they really stray from that too much, but I think their sound is like unique to them, and that's a good thing, They kind of know what they're doing, and they do it really well.
Yeah, definitely.
Like Dave's just like one of the best players, He just
I
got
also
it down.
love his Jackson.
Yeah, dude, that Jackson is pretty sick, man.
The Racing Red reminds me of like the old times, with the first couple of albums they released.
Yeah, we had that red 6-string Jackson Warrior, which is very sick. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'll probably just get that when I think they have it on sale, no? Or
I don't know.
I don't know if it's on sale. I think it's supposed to be at some point potentially.
Mm-hmm.
There's talks.
Right.
I've seen like different people post about it, like, oh, maybe that's happening. So that'd be cool if they did that. I mean, that's a cool color, and that's definitely like in right now is like the 80s kind of throwback thing. So that'd be a smart move on Jackson's part to kind of put that out there.
Especially with the crackle finish as well. That's also huge.
Yeah, that too.
I'll
Dude, sick. Yeah, that's cool, man.
Yeah, it's I don't know. I guess neon yellow. Piss yellow, whatever.
Piss yellow.
Yeah. Yeah. This is a piss yellow finish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Mike
it's
is a
very
solar fanboy.
A hot pink. Yeah. Piss yellow. Racing car red. Neon green.
Yeah.
Green.
That's a trend that I'm glad came back too. We were talking about obviously, with the single pickup, one volume knob, and then the reverse headstock that, obviously ESP was doing. I love that that's come back. Just these outrageous colors that should have never been brought back. A hot pink. I love
it's cool it's cool to do that as like a metal guy too, I think. Like I want to play this goofy guitar, Like this is loud and obnoxious. And
speaking of goofy guitar, because I do plan on getting another Kiesel. I'm just gonna throw that in there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have a color that no one would expect me to have a guitar in.
What are you gonna do?
Probably get in hot pink, maybe.
Hot pink.
Translucent pink.
Well, it's like the Mark Kubu signature model with Kiesel. It's like that pink with like the swamp ash body, I think.
Oh, dude.
That's pretty sick. Yeah.
Somewhere like that, but I might go for like the blackburst finish on the sides, or I can't remember exactly what it's called. Yeah, so
sick.
But either way, so as for the top 10, I mean, we can just keep it the way as is right now. It doesn't have to be like.
I did look up a couple.
Yeah,
I do have a couple more I can add to it that I really did enjoy this year. So Sater,
Sater,
Brody Smith, very sick dude. Met him on the tour with Alluvial when he was playing with them. And I didn't know of his band Sater, and I checked it out. I was like, this is really sick. And that came out like in July, and that's a really cool album. Really more like progressive kind of prog rock, but metal kind of vibe. It's like kind of bridges those gaps pretty well. Mm-hmm. That's a very sick album. Reminds me of the band Alex and I, my brother, were in called Ocean Walker, which was trying to be like a progressive thing, and it didn't work out. But it reminded me of that in some degree, and it was just cool hearing that. It's like, damn, this is like I wanted to write music like this 10 years ago, and it's like I just didn't know how. So that was a cool album. There's a band called Crown Compass, which I don't know if you guys heard the band Textures, but it's the guitar player from Textures and the vocalist from Textures on their last album. They formed this new band with two of the guys from Exevious. I think that's how you say the name of the band, but they're like a Netherlands, but very sick album. I love like Textures and Crown Compass. That album sounds a lot like a Textures album. Definitely check it out if you dig the band Textures. That's a very cool album.
I'll definitely look into it.
And then what else came out?
Jesus. Sorry about that.
Yeah, no problem. And then what else do I have here? Tomorrow. I never say that name right.
Tomorrow.
Those are two cool dudes down in Atlanta. Kyle and Brandon, very good dudes, and it's kind of like a atmospheric blackened death metal thing, but they're cool dudes, and that's a sick band. I really like that album too when it came out. So
Tomarum or tomorrow?
yeah, Tomarum.
Oh, okay.
Tomarum.
I heard tomorrow.
Tomarum might be that. Yeah, it might be Tomarum. And I'm sorry if they ever watch this and I pronounced their band's name wrong. I know I did that to them when I met them in Atlanta. I said it wrong, and they corrected me, and I forgot it. So, but it's very sick if you're into like atmospheric kind of black and death metal kind of stuff. It's got that cool vibe to it, and yeah, it sounds great. So, yeah, and that's kind of the thing. It's like I'll usually end up checking out bands of dudes that I know now because it's like you can hear the band, and you know the people, and you know the band. It's like it's kind of cool to like hear people make music and like kind of figure out where they're going with that, as people. I kind of enjoy that like process now. So
that's pretty sick, man.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. So
yeah, we'll probably just rename this like maybe favorite releases of this year, something like that.
Yeah, we do segments here at Shreddy Bois.
Dick.
We throw cue cards and like
okay, yeah. Favorite releases of 2022.
Yeah.
Well, guys, according to this timer, we
got
about
8 minutes left.
8 minutes
before
left.
we get kicked off again here.
So, well, I mean, hey, we have Thankful Boys left.
I was going to say, speaking of segments, you wouldn't know because we haven't talked about Thanksgiving at all in this episode. But this is the Thanksgiving episode, guys.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Grab a bowl of cranberries and some stuffing and tell your grandma you love her.
Yeah. So we're going to call this segment, and this will be nice to close out. Thankful Boys. Cue card. All right, so this segment is it's very simple. We're going to get wholesome here for a second, if you don't mind. Well, little wholesomeness. Thankful Boys for Thanksgiving. So how about we'll start with you, Max. What are you thankful for this year?
Man, honestly, I'm thankful for a lot. I'm thankful for being in this band with a bunch of dudes that I really love, and we're able to make cool music together and get along and keep doing it, because I think it's like we're talking about, it's hard to do this shit, and I'm glad I'm with dudes that want to do it, and we're all stoked to be playing music together. Thankful for a lot of cool people I've met this year. Too many to list, but it's been very cool to just meet people and do this shit and put out an album with thankful for Mike and Malcolm at the Arsenera for giving us a chance always, for my parents for still letting me live here, a lot of shit. Thankful I have a job. I'm thankful that like I'm blessed enough to own cool shit, I'm thankful for you guys for asking me to do this with you. This is a lot of fun. So I got a lot of shit to be thankful for. Life's pretty good. I'm pretty happy, thumbs up all around. So yeah,
that's pretty wholesome, Brian.
Very, very wholesome.
Let's see if you could top that. I don't think you can.
Oh.
What are you thankful for?
Watch this. I'm gonna drop the mic on you.
Oh yeah.
No, I mean, I'm thankful for a whole lot of things. Obviously, thankful to Max for being our second guest.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, I've been following the Warforged for like as long as I could remember. Been a huge fan, so it's a huge honor to have him on here.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that very much.
Thankful to Mike here because honestly, without him, this whole Shreddy Bois wouldn't be a thing. We've been trying to get this whole thing started for like about a year, but we didn't have the time to plan it out.
Yeah.
Up until like this year, but
I do the editing.
Yeah,
it's hard.
He's the cameraman / editor, But if you need my help, let me know, Mike.
I'll be thankful for that.
You have the first half, I'll have the second half. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
Split it up.
We'll come together.
Yeah.
Also thankful for everyone who supports us. All 100 of you viewers out there, all of my friends, who always share our videos. Our riff challenges, our
dumb theme song.
Oh yeah, we made a music video for the theme song. One of my friends was like, "You guys are filming a video for a 5-second song?" Like, no, there's a whole song to it.
There's a whole song.
It's just 5 seconds because it's only the intro part. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. And I think that's about it. What about you, Mike? Can you top that?
I can't. No, I'm very honestly. You talk about cool stuff. I've gotten a lot of cool stuff lately, and it's been all weird, insane happenstance. I'm one of these people who believes that a piano is gonna fall on me if too many nice things happen in a row.
Dude, right?
Yeah,
agreed.
you know,
It hasn't happened yet. I
life
got
is full of surprises.
I got a lot of cool stuff, including I was telling you about it the last time. I got a Epiphone Thunder Horse now in the corner over there.
Is it sick?
It's awesome.
Hell yeah, nice.
Yeah, I'm very thankful for my loving wife. I'm very.
Oh.
We hit our 1 year anniversary
Cool.
a couple days ago. Well,
I'm
it'll
glad.
be about a week, but in the future it'll be about a month. I don't know.
13-month anniversary.
It's
Yeah.
very strange timing with all this. Yeah.
What's your
I'm
wedding
just-
anniversary date? When did you guys get married?
October 30th.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it just
we
happened.
kept
Then.
it.
Nice.
We didn't want to put it on Halloween. We wanted to keep it adjacent.
Yeah,
have some
that makes
options.
sense. Get more people to come anyway, because
Yeah.
otherwise, I can't
Is
come to
that
your
a-
wedding. It's Halloween, dude.
Yeah.
Is that
And
a
Halloween-
reference to The Crow? I'm sorry to interrupt.
It's not.
I was like, it almost sounded like one because I think that movie took place October 30th.
You think we had our wedding on the 30th to make it a reference to The Crow?
I don't know. I thought, but I didn't ask. I was not
God
until
damn.
now.
Are you a
I
big
know.
fan of The Crow?
Nobody's
Yes,
a
I
big
am.
fan of The Crow.
Excuse me.
Maybe you were. Maybe you're one of the few. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm
There's-
one of them.
Yeah, you're one of the 5 guys in the Crow fan club.
Well, yeah,
All
because
right.
Brandon Lee is in that movie. But anyways,
All
That's
right.
true. Yeah.
I'm thankful for Brian.
Hell yeah.
I don't think the show would be as entertaining if it was just me talking to a camera.
oh stop it!
I
You're
think-
just as entertaining as me.
I think we have a good
It's
dynamic.
the duo that works. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we got a good dynamic. And
Hell yeah.
yeah, just everything is just kind of working out right now, and it scares me a lot.
Yeah, I can hear that, man.
Yeah.
I think you just gotta
keep
hope for the
going.
best, and if it doesn't, then you just kind of pick your feet back up and make it happen. You know,
Yep.
that's all you can do.
Hell yeah.
So
And with that being said, guys, that was Thankful Boys. I want to thank you very much for being our guest. This is fantastic. And I have to
Oh, yeah.
decide of whether I'm going to make this a 2-parter or not, because we've been talking for an hour and 15 minutes. Isn't that crazy?
yeah,
It doesn't
damn.
feel
An hour,
that
15
long.
minutes.
It doesn't. No, yeah, that's
No.
right. It's
It's
yeah,
awesome.
that's cool.
We
Well, yeah,
just-
do
we
what you gotta
started
do, man.
talking about
Stretch out
gear.
that content. You know?
Yeah,
you
you got
go.
anything to say, Brian?
Well, with that being said, make sure you guys check out Max's band Warforge. Check out the Grove Sundial, available everywhere. It's
On all streaming platforms.
Yeah,
I'd say it's a
Why
10
are
out of
we-
10.
Why are we plugging you? You plug you. You got a nice little vinyl that's out now. Why don't you
well, the
plug
vinyl's
that?
not out yet. I'm hoping sometime soon.
Oh, okay.
Anyone who
Okay.
pre-ordered the vinyl, sorry, they're not here yet. It's the world still sucks with supply chain stuff.
Any
so,
ETA on that yet?
No clue.
Okay.
It'll happen though. It's just no idea when it'll be shipping.
It's
but I really want to see
gorgeous,
the vinyl,
dude.
dude. Oh, I can't wait.
It is gorgeous.
I love that. Just seeing it, it's like, yeah, I did it. You
Yeah.
know? It's a cool
it
feeling.
looks,
So
God. Yeah, I saw that. I'm a huge vinyl guy. I got a whole
Nice.
thing of all my favorite metal colored vinyls.
Sick.
I'm a sucker
dude.
for colored vinyl.
yeah, same. I love that shit. It's very cool. But
Alright.
yeah, man. Check out Warforged, and obviously, if you're watching this, keep watching these guys do their podcast, the Shreddy Boys.
Thank you very much.
very
Oh,
much
yeah.
appreciate it, Max.
Cool.
All right, guys. Another episode in the can.
Yep.
right.
Signing out.
Signing out.
Peace out, everyone.
Warriors of time and space, traveling through dimensions, fighting for what's just